saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Shipped at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. We got to the phone lines now. I don't want you to think that, you hear all the talk that the vaccine is taking its place and it's creating herd immunity, and the mask mandates are coming down, and your social distancing now is gone. In some places they say 6 feet, some people are saying 3 feet. All this is because it looks like we've seen the worst of COVID-19, but not so fast, my friends. Dr. Hernandez, who is the Chief Medical Officer for United Healthcare, joins us, and she says, I think, Doctor, you're going to tell me we may be on the downside of this, but we need to take precautions to make sure it doesn't rear its ugly head again. Am I right there?
That is correct, Tom, especially this summer because we're all traveling.
Oh, yeah, we're back. We're back in planes. We're back in cars. We're back going to see our loved ones. We've had an 18-month hiatus. America's ready and itching to travel, so there's going to be large groups. There's going to be large people. What are some of the suggestions you give people, some of the precautions we need to do this summer as we start to get back to a normal life?
Yes, Tom. So first and foremost, if you have not already done so, the plea here is, and the message is, get vaccinated. If you're hesitant to do so, please get trusted information from your physician and do your homework. There's a lot of myths out there that are simply not true. The sooner you get vaccinated, the safely we can get back to our new normal. So according to the CDC and also the FDA authorized approved vaccine for emergency use by the World Health Organization, we can travel safely this summer, especially throughout the United States. However, it's best to wait a couple of weeks after getting your second dose, because you have to give your body that time to build that antibody to that vaccination.
I hear people talk about getting vaccinated. It's 95% effective. Give it a chance to take hold in your body, because that's how we're going to create herd immunity. But I'm a little concerned because I'm not a doctor. I listen to the news and how things are told to me. What about these variants? Is this vaccination effective to the variants? Is that something we have to worry about? Is that a whole different chance we could go back to where we were a year ago with these variants? What's the news with the variants?
Well, while the vaccine doesn't necessarily give you that protection, that's why even after being fully vaccinated, you kind of take some precautions, right? Especially when you're traveling and you're getting exposed to other folks that may or may not be carriers of the COVID-19 or the variant. So just remember to always be practical. Continue to, especially in close proximity to others, social distance as much as you can, to continue to wash your hands regularly and continue to wear your mask and use hand sanitizers. I call that, using common sense, especially if you're traveling to crowded areas or even at rest stops. to make sure that you continue, even after being vaccinated, you continue to use, I call it common sense, right? Practical common sense, because the vaccine, as of now, is something better than nothing, but
Yeah.
it does not protect against the variant.
Talking with Dr. Marian Hernandez. She is the Chief Medical Officer for United Healthcare. Doctor, I know people are going to be traveling a lot of different ways this summer, but because you can control the environment of your own vehicle, is that the best way to travel?
Well, yes, indeed. I think there's a lot of us that are actually jumping on in cars and going state to state, right? You need to be a little bit smart about this too. While that's a controlled environment in your own space, even if you're fully vaccinated, you still, especially if you're going through state lines, the recommendation is to follow those local, state, and federal testing mandates and travel rules, because they may be different state to state, right, as you pass the state lines. It's always useful to pack beforehand, right? Use face masks, hand sanitizers, and pack them up, especially disinfectant wipes that are easily accessible to you, especially if you're traveling with those that are unvaccinated within your party, and you're doing a lot of the rest stops throughout the travel. It's better to prepare the food and water so you can minimize the exposure during these stops. So that's a high recommendation there.
Well, I know as I travel, my fiance and I travel around Florida. We go to Georgia some. I know one of the petri dishes for me, and I make sure to wash my hands and sanitize it all. I don't know who touched the door to that gas station. I don't know who touched that gas pump last. I don't know who touched the door to the refrigerator in the gas station where I'm getting a soda from. So anytime I do that, I'm like, oh, hand sanitizer, quick, please. So that's the kind of common sense things you're talking about, because you don't know who touched that door last. You don't know whether it's been contaminated or not. So you got to take common sense precautions there. But let's ask about this. How about hotels or the ever popular vacation rentals or the Airbnbs? What are some of the precautions we need to take there? Because people are going to stay in hotels, they're going to stay in Airbnbs, so there's got to be some precautions taken.
Yes. So it's always so important to kind of, maybe ask for the cleaning protocols, and they're up to par, right? Use your common sense, trust your senses if it smells and it looks, kept and clean. But definitely, like you were saying, making sure things like, at the hotels and the rental places, it actually behooves to actually, wipe down the TV remotes, right? The doors, the door handles, the bathroom handles, and basically go over these with the disinfectant wipes, just like you were saying. It is very important, especially in a hotel where there might be more crowding of folks in close proximity, to continue to encourage that social distancing. And again, I think these are all globally good recommendations to sanitize and make sure you do check those cleaning protocols wherever you stay, and basically wherever you end up with your vacation this summer.
My fiance, even though she looks at the cleaning protocols and all, she brings the sanitized wipes and the Lysol. She sprays the doorknobs, the TV remotes, everything before we even unzip our bags to unpack. All that's done, and that was done before the pandemic. Just because she was like, you don't know who was in here last. You don't know, if they wash your hands when they use the bathroom, you don't know. They could have touched that remote. You have no idea. So that's just good common sense that we've now, to me, this is one of the silver linings of this pandemic, is we come with good common sense. The fact that people wash their hands now, doctor. I was a poker player for a long time, and you will watch people at the casino go to the restroom and then not wash their hands. It is the grossest thing in the world. So one of the silver linings is at least we're taking a common sense approach to germs now, and I think that's a good thing.
Yes, it is, Tom. It definitely is. I think, again, I can relate to your girlfriend because I do just the same, even before pandemic. Definitely something that, again, we using these precautions is so important. And I think it would just not over in the COVID-19, but just globally overall, to be using these types of, antiseptic methodology. You're right. You don't know who actually was there prior to you. It is so important, Tom. I think one of the messages that I want to give is there are a lot of myths around getting vaccinated. I got vaccinated myself. I had to convince my own mother to get vaccinated and my own two daughters. Get vaccinated. There is minimal to hardly no side effects, and there are a lot of myths out there. Go and get vaccinated and travel safely this summer.
Doctor, we got about 30 seconds. Is there anything else you want to add to this discussion that we haven't talked about already?
Yes, I kind of want to say, have fun. The vaccine has given us a little bit of a, wiggle room to going back to our new normal. I want everyone to be safely out there and get vaccinated. That's the message.
Doctor, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Yeah, just use common sense, folks. That's all the doctors say. Common sense is the way to go. We'll be back after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The Egyptians have brokered peace in the Middle East. Israel's Security Cabinet voted Thursday evening to approve the Egyptian ceasefire, which went into effect at 2 a.m. Israeli Daylight Time. Hamas also backed the ceasefire, but the sides have issued contrasting messages about its terms. The Israeli Prime Minister's office said the mutual and unconditional ceasefire was a straightforward quiet-for-quiet agreement. Hamas officials claim the ceasefire agreement included conditions about Israel's policy in Jerusalem, which a senior Israeli official flatly denied. Border Patrol officers on horseback arrested nearly 3 dozen illegal immigrants, all wearing military camouflage near the Arizona-New Mexico state line on Thursday. On Monday, they found 23 crammed into an open-top Panga-style vessel off the coast of San Diego. Border Czar Vice President Kamala Harris has yet to address the border crisis publicly, nearly 2 months after being assigned by the president. USA Radio News.
Recently, President Trump was talking about the big news networks, and here's what he said.
We have others that come along, and they're doing well, and Newsmax has been really good, and, others are coming along.
Many Americans agree. Newsmax TV is really good. Nielsen says more than 30 million Americans watch Newsmax. You should too. And find hit shows with Greg Kelly, Grant Stinchfield, Sean Spicer, and Lindsay Keith. Tune in tonight for Newsmax's newest show with Steve Cortez. It's called Cortez and Pellegrino. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. If you don't get it, call your cable system. Tell them you want Newsmax, or you can switch. Plus, get Newsmax free on most smart TVs and OTT devices like Roku, Pluto, Zumo, and Amazon Fire. Millions have already downloaded the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. So start watching America's fastest-growing cable news channel, because Newsmax is real news for real people.
Let's get a mask mandate update with Dan Araki.
Americans have been adjusting to new guidelines for mask wearing released last week by the CDC. The new guidance allows for people who are fully vaccinated not to have to wear masks indoors, except for in crowded areas. But the sudden shift caused confusion for businesses trying to reopen and recover from the effects of the pandemic. Dr. Anthony Fauci says the confusion is not their fault. The chief White House medical advisor tells CNN that some of the confusion is coming from establishments trying to figure out how best to follow the new guidelines.
So what the establishment owned is several of them have said, the CDC recommendations were fine, that people who are fully vaccinated don't have to wear masks indoor.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Provosol fungicide from BASF is the newest leaf spot control innovation for peanut farmers. Add Provosol fungicide to your disease control program to break up resistance and keep every other product you use working harder far longer. Who's buying peanuts? Well, the Foreign Agricultural Service of USDA has published the most recent numbers, January through March of this year. That's total kernels, in-shell, peanut butter, and processed peanuts in metric tons. The world total exports is 150,000 metric tons during this time. It's up 8.18% for everybody, an increase in the market. The first buyer was China. China bought 38% of the U.S. peanuts during the 3 months. Number 2 is Canada and Mexico, almost the same, second and third. They're buying 30,000 metric tons and 31,000 metric tons. That's the top 3. Number 4 is Japan. Number 5, United Kingdom. Number 6 is the Netherlands.
Previsol fungicide is to plant fields with vowels are to the English language. With it, disease control sind compult.
It couldn't be any clearer. Provosol fungicide is to peanut fields what vowels are to the English language. Without it, disease control isn't complete. Provosol fungicide from BASF is the missing piece you need to finish off disease. Always read and follow label directions.
Today's program is brought to you by Provosol fungicide from BASF. It's the newest leaf spot control innovation for peanut farmers. Add Provosol fungicide to your disease control program to break up resistance and keep every other product you use working harder for longer. I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Friday, sunshine and some clouds, high 84 to 87. Friday night, mainly clear, low 66 to 69. Saturday, partial sunshine, high 85 to 87. Sunday, partly sunny, high 86 to 90. Sunshine Monday with a high 89 to 95. Tuesday, high 90 to 96. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Andy Robb.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome to hour number 2 of Ocala Talks. I am Tom Schmidt, your host, but the stars of the show are in the building right now. I have, well, you know Roseanne Fricks. She's the CEO of Early Learning Coalition. She's here every Friday. Scott Quintel, did I say that right, Scott?
You did, yes.
Scott Quintel, he's the president of United Way. And Cheryl Martin, she's the community service director for Marion County. And we're so full that we couldn't get everybody in the room. Or either Kevin Shealy, such a slave driver, he won't let Ryan Lilly out of the office too much. Ryan Lilly joins us on the phone from the Ocala Chamber of Economic Partnership. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning.
Truth be told, up until about 2 weeks ago, my office was literally within shouting distance of Ryan's office, and I would shout at him all the time.
Poor guy.
I do want to start the show by saying Roseanne gave me a gold star.
I did.
I have a gold star, Ryan.